everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is the very first episode of Voices with Victoria Ndu. Here we're going to be showcasing the inspiring journey and experiences of young Nigerians as they navigate the unique challenges and pressures of being a young person living in Africa, and how they rise above their doubts, pressure, failures, and everything in between. Today, I am so excited and honored to have a friend here with me in the very first conversation, and we have here, drum rolls, Joseph Etim. He is a renowned brand and media expert. He's the founder of the Young People Connect Africa, where he empowers young Africans with crucial skills for success in entrepreneurship and technology. Please, with every honor that I have, I make welcome to the very first show, Voices with Victoria Ndu, Joseph Etim.
Welcome to Voices with Victoria. This show aims to empower individuals across Africa by providing valuable insights, knowledge, and perspective on various topics through enlightening conversations with industry experts, thought leaders, and change makers. Victoria Ndu seeks to foster personal and professional growth, ignite innovation, and drive positive change in Africa. In this first season, we will be looking at the voices of resilience, navigating the pressures of young African life. This season is dedicated to showcasing the inspiring journeys and experiences of young people as they navigate the unique challenges and pressures of being a young person in Africa. How do they rise above doubts, pressures, failures, and everything in between? Join me on this journey. Voices with Victoria.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi Victoria, I'm really excited to be here, and I don't got to know that this is the first, so
Yeah, it's the
I'm
first.
privileged and excited as well to be hosted by the impeccable Victoria. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So this is just going to be a conversation, you know.
Okay.
We'll just be talking everything about, we want to know, okay, as much as you can share, right?
Yeah.
So just tell us about yourself, your background, and you know.
Okay, obviously my name is Joseph Etim. I'm the founder of Young People Connect. I'm a brand and media consultant. I do a lot of things at the same time, but most times I enjoy working with NGOs. I provide them communication strategies for them to build their brands, because I've learned that one of the core areas that we can easily communicate what we're doing is through communication and using the new media. So I try to consult and help NGOs especially to build their brands on these digital platforms.
Amazing. I mean, is this something you've always been doing?
You know, when you build capacity, there are some demands that will be, you know, that will be made of you. So initially, I started off as a graphic designer and all this stuff, but then at some point, I knew I wanted more. So I had to learn. I had to go for trainings. I had to, you know, train myself. I had to go for places where I could learn, and I got certified. And by building capacity, you automatically attract the kind of opportunities that you're looking for. Yeah. So by virtue of building capacity, the kind of skills I built for myself, so it was easier for me to just plug into these opportunities.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so I'm interested. Let's backtrack a bit. Where were you born, and how was growing up like?
Okay, I was born in Akwa Ibom State.
Yay, Akwa Ibom song. Abi, did I get it?
Yeah, but I didn't really grow up in Akwa Ibom.
Okay.
I grew up in a place in Nigeria called Zamfara State.
Wow.
Yes, I grew up in.
Fun enough.
A lot of people don't know about that, but I grew up in Zamfara State. I only came back when my parents retired in 2007. That's when we came back to Akwa Ibom State. But still there, I didn't eventually still grew up in the Akwa Ibom State. I went to secondary school, but I left again. So a better part of my growing up was in Zamfara State. So that's why people don't get to think they don't see me as that Akwa Ibom guy and stuff like that, because I don't.
You grew up in the north.
I grew up in the north, and you know, north. You know, there are a lot of things that.
So what languages do you speak? I expect that you.
I speak Hausa.
Hausa, great.
But I'm not very fluent, but I hear it 100%.
Amazing.
Then Pidgin, the normal Pidgin, because in the north, you know, because of the intertribal stuff.
Okay.
We can easily communicate using Pidgin. So I'm very good with Pidgin. Yeah, but Hausa, English, and Ibibio. Yeah.
He gave you.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So what was growing up like for you? And do you see, a lot of things that happened while growing up, did they lead up to where you are right now? Were they influences from there to who you are right now?
Yeah, I think I had a good start growing up because in my JS1, I think one of the things that happened to me was I was this, maybe because of my dad, I was this academic person, so I was into books and stuff like that. So from my primary school, primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, I was always like, if I fail, like I'm taking second position.
Wow.
So it was that, I think that was a good start for me. So I was always first. In fact, my primary school, there's this we used to call class, they call it now class captain.
Yes,
but then it was class monitor. So I was always the class monitor because of my position in class.
So you were the Jackie?
I was, so I think I was doing well. So I was good in maths, good in English and all those stuff. So in my JS1, the school I went to, I took first term, second term, third term. My dad was angry, like, you can't do that now. So he needed me to compete more with people that, for him to be sure that I'm like, this is real.
You're learning.
So it look as if like this.
They're just dashing you the position.
Yeah, so he took me to a boarding school. I was angry at first, but I got to meet because I was supposed to do my 6, but I did not. So in primary 5, he took me to JS1. So I got to meet people that were already in primary 6 ahead of me. In my primary school, I was now their classmate, and that was now the real competition. So I think what I mean by head start, I started going for competitions for my school, and that really opened me up to the world that like this is what is possible in the world. You could learn, you could meet people, you could have so much exposure, and I think that was where I discovered that there's more to this world than just reading books. Yeah, so that was my start.
Amazing. But then what did you study in school?
Okay, I studied electronics and computer technology.
Wow, so how does that relate to what you're doing? Oh well, computer.
Yeah, electronics and computer technology was, funny enough, that was not what I wanted to study, but I wanted to be a medical, doctor and all that stuff. But I'm happy because I did not eventually study medicine because I can't survive in the hospital. Like I go to the hospital, I can't even stay, I can't even drugs now. So I'm happy that I was able to study electronics and computer technology because that gave me a good foundation, media-wise, technology-wise, and computer world. So for me, when I studied that, I was able to, have access to a lot of opportunities that had to do with, computer technology and the skills, the jobs, the kind of money you can earn. So I think that really gave me opportunities to meet some of the tech guys, those that were building stuff. So
amazing.
Yeah, I studied electronics and computer technology. So.
Okay, so let's come back to the present.
Okay.
You've impacted over 6,000. I mean, this is even trying to be modest here. Okay. You've impacted over 6,000 young persons via the Young People Connect Africa. We'll talk about that later because I know you're doing something massive. That, in fact, when you were telling me about it and I was seeing the whole wave on social media, I was like, wow, this guy is onto something big. We'll talk about that. Yeah. But what are some of the skills that have had a profound impact on the participants or the youth? You've impacted them. So what are some of the top skills that,
Okay, I think one of the skills that we try to help our community members to learn is ability to think for yourself. Your creative ability, because a lot of people, aside the fact that you get to learn how to write, you get to learn how to use computer and all those stuff, one of the things that people don't get to learn is how to think for themselves. So one of the things we make our core priority in YPC community is helping young people to think and to be very, very creative, because what will stand people out eventually is your ability to think differently and your ability to be very creative. So we always try to help people, whatever you're doing, we try to help them to understand the role of creativity and the role of cognitive abilities, your ability to think. So I think that's one of the 2 things we try to do in our community.
Amazing. So you started the Young People Connect Africa, the conference in 2018. Yeah. What motivated you to start it?
Okay, funny story. When I was still in school, one of the things I noticed was, you go into malls and you want to get some stuff for yourself, and you end up seeing that, okay, the people that are actually selling, most of them are graduates. You see medical students, being a salesperson and all those stuff. For me, I was very I was angry at that because why would you study for 7 years, 8 years, plus maybe 10 years, and at the end of the day, you want to settle for being a sales girl? And recently POS just came out, so I love opportunities at the highest level. So if I'm going to spend 4 years, 5 years, it means I should be able to access opportunities at the highest level, not just whatever comes. So I discovered that people graduate from school, but the school doesn't pass through them. They don't get to learn the skills of life. They don't get to learn skills that can help them to solve problems. They're not really employable. So sometimes we complain that, I discovered that youth as at then, we used to complain about there are no jobs. But I kept seeing offers, but there were no young people to fill those gaps.
People are not really employable.
Yes, they didn't have those skills. For instance, there is this tech skills, like a website is down and the website guy is struggling, like they don't understand how to solve that problem. But then if you were able to learn skills, the internet has made it very easy for anybody to learn any skill. But people just believe that it's what I studied that can help them. So I discovered that gap. And one of the things we tried to do then was to connect young people to individuals, to organizations that were having this kind of platform where they could train on skills that young people were not paying attention to. So that was like the birth of what we now call Connect Conference. Then we're still looking for what name should we call it. So the idea was not just to start a conference. It was more like to help people to understand that there is a role that skill plays. And people were not paying attention to it. So you see a graduate first class, but
just about the knowledge in class and the lectures and that's it.
If you ask them any question, that it's more like they didn't teach us. People are not paying attention to understand what is required in life. Like, your life could just change overnight, but it required a skill, not your degree. So people don't get to understand that. So you have first class, but in life you're not first class. You can't solve the first world problem. So I said, okay, what can we do? So we had to just build a team, partner with people, organizations then, and we started. The plan was just to have maybe 100 people. But I was blown when it was the DP and the hall was few. People were like crowded outside and they were just, how can people just go out?
People are seeing value and people are attracted to value.
Yeah, so the first edition was over 1,000 people gathered.
Wow.
The plan was 100.
Wow.
So when my team, they called me, Joe, come and see what you've done. I was like, hey, who have cut something in me? Why? When I got to the hall, it was filled to the brim, like it was crazy. And I got to understand that people were really struggling, people were actually suffering, and our solution was what they needed at the time. So that was how it started.
So talking about that, since we're already talking about the YPC conference, let's just go right into it, because I've even told myself that it's like I have to fly down to Abuja for this conference. So tell us a bit about the conference coming up next month, and then who we're to expect and what exactly we're to expect from that conference.
Okay, so the first conference was skill versus school, because then we're trying to balance the arguments. People were saying you don't need to go to school. So we're saying, yes, school and scam. Some people were saying that you needed to just have the skill. Why do you really need a university degree? But then our own campaign was more like, in Nigeria, if you're not a graduate, first of all, nobody will give you permission. Like, you don't have the access to negotiate.
It's just like the key to open the door.
They've locked the door, so all you needed was whether you are good or not. Just show them that you have the degree. Then they cannot let you. They cannot say, okay, you have the
skills.
Yeah. So that was, we're trying to just bridge that gap and kill that debate of school and skill, which is better. We're trying to help young people to understand that have your degree, have your skill. At the end of the day, you choose which one you want to use. Yeah. Then in 2019, the next was the future of jobs. So people were actually learning skills, but the big question was, in the next couple of years, what were the kind of opportunities that would present itself? What did you need to prepare for?
How do you position yourself for the future?
How do you position yourself for the future? Because the world we live in, people just learn stuff for just the now. They don't get to prepare. Like in the next couple of years, if salaries are going to be increased, how can I learn the skills that can help me get to that level? So what we're trying to do then was bridging these gaps. And in 2023, we're trying to just hack the creator economy. So our theme is hacking the creator economy. What we're trying to do is, if you have a 9-to-5, you're an entrepreneur, you're a techie, whatever you do, you're a change maker, what are the opportunities that are available and how can you unlock such opportunities. So it doesn't matter what you do, whether you have a business, whatever it is, right now technology has made it very easy for everybody to do what they want to do with
and
ease.
in any industry, whether in the medicine,
Yes.
healthcare,
Yes.
whether in agriculture,
Yes.
you can plug in technology.
Yeah, so technology has, like, right now, if you're not tech inclined, you're losing out. So it doesn't matter if you're working in the bank, you're just a cashier. Right now, it's strictly tech. Because there's POS, there's your bank application. There are just so many things that require you to be aware of what is happening. So if you say that I don't want to, tech is for this set of person, it means you're going to suffer. Like I was talking to somebody, even something as little like this electricity bill. So people still want to pay their money to go to their offices to buy. When on your device, you just send your money, the transaction, and everything is done. So one of the things we're trying to do is help people to understand whatever business they have, whatever product they have, how can they have the platforms that will help them understand that these are the kind of customers you can have access to. So from your house, you can have access to 1 million customers. From your house, you can have access to 1 million jobs. So it's not just you waiting for jobs, it is more like you showcasing yourself to millions of opportunities for them to understand, for them to see what you can do. So people just think that I have to chase. It was in the previous era you needed to go for an audition to get the job. Right now, from the comfort of the room.
I mean, with Zoom, a lot of things can be done.
The comedians, they understand that a lot. So what they do is, you stay in your house, like what we're doing now,
Content creators.
you make your skits, you make whatever, and at the end of the day,
Goes viral.
the big shot that wants, who is this guy, he has the followers, they now want to invite you to join because you can easily make their own movies to sell more. So people don't understand the game of numbers, the miracle that we have right now as the digital media. So we're trying to help you to understand that this thing is a miracle to change your life.
Yes,
and
so
you have to just plug in.
then it was a buzzword saying I'm not techie. Even using social media, a lot of young people, I think even till now, there are a lot of people who have not been able to tap into the opportunities that technology has given to us.
That's why they're broke. That's why they're broke.
Yes.
Everybody that rejects technology, because the word technology, let's break it down, it's just ease.
Technology, the word ease.
Anything that can make life easy for you is technology. For instance, I have my mobile app, you have your mobile app. I don't want to go to the bank. How can I stay in my house and do what I was supposed to do there? I wanted to go deposit bulk of want to deposit maybe $1 million, $10,000 from your app. You are not spending any technology is even making life easy for you. Your transportation is cut, you've removed that. So with just a mobile app, just in 2 seconds you're done and you maximize time. Right, so I think technology is that miracle that we're praying for, that is now here,
now.
And it's just for us to, instead of giving excuses why we can't use it, it should be a question of how can I now use it, how can I learn, what are the skills, because people are every day looking for people that can solve their problems.
And the more problems you can solve, the more money you make.
The more money you make, because you are paid for your time. So as much as you can solve people's problems with your time, you're going to keep making the money. So I think those that are not willing to plug in, they're just telling themselves, I want to stay broke. And the more people say, okay, I can solve this problem, I want to plug in, I want to make money. Just look at TikTok for instance. The new guys that came on board, they're the ones making it now.
Yeah.
Instagram, the new guys that plugged in.
Content creators.
I love talking about the comedy industry a lot because those that we celebrated before, right now they are new guys doing it big and even bigger.
New cats.
Yeah, new cats, and there's now pressure on the other guys to now also
Step up their game,
collaborate with them. If not, imagine they said, no, we're there before them. We cannot, they'll be forgotten.
True.
But what they are doing is basically collaborating with these guys. And at the end of the day, they eat together, eating, and everybody's happy at the end of the day. So I think technology, social media is just making life easy for us. And we should just plug in, and there's so much money to be made, I believe.
Okay, so Joseph, you've shared amazingly about some of the things that you've done, and beyond what you shared, I've seen you partner with big personal brands. I mean, even looking at the speakers you're bringing in for the conference. I'd like to know, what are some of the strategies that you've been able to deploy to connect with some of these big brands? I just want to basically know strategies for collaboration and partnerships.
Okay, I think for me, one of the things I try to do most times is I try to connect genuinely with this person and before I try to invite, I try to make sure I must have accessed the product or their programs and stuff like that. So like some of the speakers, I try to make sure that I pay to learn from them. So it is when after paying that I try to just talk about what I do. So I do this, I do this, and I would love to also have you share this thing that I've learned to my own community members. So most times it's not like I just jump on them. And again, sometimes there are a lot of these people that they've seen your track record, they've seen what you've done, and they may not reach out to you, yeah. But immediately you just reach out to them. They're like, they want to say yes because they've seen you push yourself, they've seen you push other people. So you're not just going to be like a parasite.
Like leech to leech.
Yeah, you're trying to just leech and all those stuff. So they've seen you do your stuff alone. So right now the least they can do is just to support this young person trying to drive change. And you know, when they were very young, they were not able to do the kind of things we're doing. So it's just them trying to support. So one of the things I try to do is I try to serve them. I try to pay for their own courses, if they have books, I try to pay as well. And I try to just ask myself, what can I give to them before I ask? So most times I try to do that.
I like what you said when you at first you said you genuinely connect with them, because the truth is people can sense fake from a mile.
Of course.
People can know that, oh, this person is connecting with me just because of what they hope to get. And they sort of like just set that boundary.
Exactly.
So as young persons, I know we want to connect with mentors, we want to connect with partners and collaborators and all of that, or you want to be in certain circle. You need to first of all be genuinely interested in the kind of in the people you want to connect with. So that once you get into that space, they won't think that, oh, this person is just coming to be a parasite. You
know, sometimes young people don't get to understand that that is the magic. Yeah. So if I see that the person I admire is doing stuff, whether it's free, whether it's paid, the big question is, even though you cannot afford their training, how can you carry this? There's something they call flyer now. Their videos, their advert, whatever. How can you push it? Like there's how you push. To the extent that even the organizers they'll say, who is this person? Because they've not pushed as much as you can. Imagine you are doing a training for instance, and it's free, and you see it on my platform, sponsored. There is, I don't need to send you this. You just come to me.
This guy.
Thank you. Like you're doing a free training, and I'm doing sponsored ad for your free training. It means I am genuinely interested. So that's more like you buying the attention of those you want to connect with, right? So when you see them doing stuff, before you say you want to ask, how do you plan to connect with them? But the problem now is a lot of people, they want to connect with people because they are up there, and there's something they can immediately, tap from them. But before you try to ask, the question should be, what have you been able to do?
I like to usually put it this way: before you leverage, you can't climb a bridge that you would not build.
Exactly.
So before you leverage any relationship whatsoever, ask yourself, have I built this relationship?
Exactly. I've gotten people, they reached out to me, hello Joseph, Norma, we want to invite you to come and speak. And probably you're not available to speak on that setting, on that date. They pick offense and they never reach out to you again. Now, when they have another event,
that's when
they now remember to reach out to you. That is very sad.
Wow.
But one of the things we should try to do as young people, as leaders, entrepreneurs, impact leaders and all those stuff, we should try to just genuinely connect. These are human beings. They may be very, 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 very busy. Yeah, so when you're trying to reach out to them, ask yourself, if they're not free, can you handle it?
I also like the second point raised about value, right? Because the truth is, these people have built a brand already, and they would not want to associate with somebody that is going to be a dent on that brand. For example, somebody like you now, who is a branding person, you built that your brand and value, and then somebody now comes to say, "Oh, I'm inviting you on my platform," and then now uses one kind of flyer that does not even pass for a kindergarten. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So some of these people up there, mentors, collaborators, and partners, before you even reach out to them, ask yourself, if I was in their shoe, would I want to connect with somebody like me?
Have you reached to the point where you can buy their own attention? Because at the end of the day, there are people that you've not reached their level.
And there's no offense in it.
Yeah, it's just, okay, what level are you?
Am I right
who
now?
Who can you invite? And the sad truth is, sometimes let's just use those we have. You have your friends. Your friends will not
circle.
Use them.
partner with them first.
But we say no. We want
We
to
want the
invite
big.
at the
If
top.
it's not the
At the
big
top.
people,
I reach out to them. They're also looking at you. Who is this guy?
and they don't know you. You've not built yourself. There's no value that
They're
people
not
are
really-
looking at to say that, oh, this person has done. I mean, for you, Joseph, you didn't just start the YPC all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big conference now that a lot of people are. I'm sure that speakers are even reaching out to you.
Yeah.
Oga, please, can I feature? Can I be part of the speaker? I mean, me too. I've also shot my shoulder. Let me come. No, okay, that's aside. But the point is, people are doing all of that now because they've been able to see the value that YPC is.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the first year that you did it, you didn't get as much, attention as it's getting now. So sometimes when we want to connect with people, ask yourself, what have I done?
Yeah.
I want to bring this person on this project on my own.
Yeah.
What have I achieved? What value
Yeah.
have I given? And then it's easier to now build up on that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
And do you have something else to say on that?
I think it's just, I think one of the things I learned from Jenny is the strategy is you give,
Said you usually say something like renting,
then you ask.
buying, I'll be renting
Renting
something
a space in their
from
head.
somebody. Yeah.
So that whenever they're thinking of something, Joseph
comes to mind.
comes to mind, Victoria comes to mind. But how do you do that? It is when you give. There are a lot of people, and let's be honest, on their birthdays, what do you do for them? Birthdays, anniversaries are the easiest ways for you to show that you genuinely value this guy. So on their birthdays, now this is the magic. People will miss this magic. People will miss this trick. Now, nobody. Now, you want to stay in their head. How do you do it? On their birthdays, everybody say happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday, man. What do you do? There's what they call account number. As little as 2,000, 5,000, whatever you can send.
Your own cards. There's a gift you can give.
At the end of the day, when they see the credit alert, they check the name. They want to go and check that name on social media. They have a training. This same name.
When is your birthday?
My birthday is 17th August. So
Okay.
people, and it works for me. And one of the things that I've learned is, for me, I try to honor those that I admire. Yeah. So for someone like me, I try not to connect with a lot of people because it's more like you have budgets for a lot of people. So the few you can connect with, what are you doing? Because during their birthday, everybody say happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday, man. So imagine that you're a celebrity. You have 2,000 happy birthday. But you'll be shocked. Just 2 persons will remember that this person needs something like a pen. Something like a wristwatch.
And it doesn't even have to be something big. Sometimes when we're having this kind of conversations with young people, they say, but I don't have anything to give now. I don't have anything. I said, nobody is so incapacitated that you cannot do anything.
Let me shock you. If I've known Victoria for a while, if I've known some of these speakers or these entrepreneurs for a while, on their posts, their stories, there are things they post. Somebody will say they like Dodo, they like chicken, they like MTN. There's some of this product that they're always talking about. That is a good opportunity, even though it's 1,000 naira, for you to just send it, package it, and send to them. They will never say no because it's their birthday. And at the end of the day, because your name is there, they will never forget. Because what happens is, I send Victoria a birthday present, even if it's 1,000 naira, you will not go and be checking how much is it. At the end of the day, my name was there. You may likely, the tendency that you may likely just quickly check me up on social media and just send thank you. And that will strike the first conversation. You say, you're welcome, man, you're welcome. That is the beginning of something you will never imagine. But a lot of people don't understand that. So they want to deserve their attention. So we think that we're doing something great. I never think like that. If there's somebody up there I want to connect with, I want to connect with Tunde, for instance, I'll not go and say I deserve his attention. I don't know what he has built. Right? So the little I can do is, what can I do? Whether he reached out to me or not, but I've been able to honor.
Honor, I think honor is such a key word, and I like that. I would like to also say that, and I like that you said it earlier. All of these strategies we're sharing, it has to be from a place of genuinity. Because you're not just giving, like I said before, people can tell when you're doing something just as vanity metrics or just to do it just so you can get something back. Just like me giving, okay, so now just have to say this thing, August, I'm going to buy, Chili said pen is okay. I will buy pen for him so that in September I would ask him to come and do me a favor.
Look, it's the story in the Bible, Jacob and Esau, where their dad, what did they do? Somebody understood that he doesn't joke with his stomach, and there's something that can easily trigger him. So it's not just about pen or whatever, it is what can trigger this person. Yeah, there are a lot of people that, like I used to have this mentor, he posts a lot on social media, on Facebook. What I used to do was, I'll go copy the post he made, the quote, and I'll design it, and I'll send it.
This is another powerful way to give. It doesn't even have to be physical gift.
Well, and because I am really, really good at what I do, when he sees that kind of design, even though he sends the next quote to somebody, because they cannot deliver at that level, he will not come back to me, hello Joseph, and at the end of the day, you now have a relationship. Yeah, but people don't. It's not about money. Like what I've shared with you now, there was no money involved. It is just you paying attention. How can I help this person? So imagine you give him 10 quotes, and at the end of the day, he used to spend maybe a couple of bucks to just create those designs, and maybe his designer used to stress him. But this is somebody,
and it's not even about money.
There's no stress. You deliver quality. You deliver excellence. Now, a lot of people make this mistake. You just said I should deliver value. So you go and design flyer for video. These guys they pay the price to do excellent.
Yeah.
You gotta do rubbish.
Because it's free or you're volunteering, you just do it. Maybe they just say we should do it.
And from these guys, imagine that one of the persons you did it for had 10,000 followers. And at the end of the day, I remember I was still struggling with 900 followers. And this person will just post on their story, on their feed. Thank you, Joseph, for this beautiful design. Everybody's now paying attention to you. So the mention you were going to pay and beg for, by just serving, by just honoring, you've gotten the recognition that no amount of mentorship would have given you. So sometimes, some of us that are creatives, these are the little tricks. Sometimes, like I'm not saying that we plan to do it. It's just whoever. If I see Victoria doing something and I'm like, okay, I can give her something better. I can just do something quick. It's something I can do. I have the time. I would gladly do it. But some people, the problem now is they do it with the hope that they can get something. So they do flyer. Hello Joseph, I did this for you, and they will add the message. Can you please post it on your timeline? And in my head.
And so you didn't really do it.
It's not for me.
To help me. You just did it for yourself.
So people know when it's about.
See, there's a place of service and honor. We can't take it out in growth, and I think that more young people need to start understanding service.
Young people need to understand whatever you're doing for anybody you admire. Kill the reward. Don't expect nothing. If it comes, in fact, you should be able to manage the expectation so that. For instance, I do something for you, Victoria, and I love you so much, I admire you so much, and you get to repost. I should be very careful not to become a nuisance.
Because of that.
Yeah, so just try to understand, how do I keep the distance? Like, how do I just maintain this relationship so at the end of the day I don't get to burn bridges. So you just have to pay attention to the details, because for instance, I'm chatting with you, for instance, a lot of people make that mistake. And you send me a message, I'm proud of you, Joseph, I love what you do, and we are still talking. The next thing you screenshot and I post. Next time, when I say that, there's nothing.
You'll be very careful.
It's not
for
me.
Privacy sake.
Some people will, that's the last message you never respond to them. So people ask themselves, this person that was always chatting with me, all of a sudden they are now cold. The question is why? Because they've noticed that you don't have sense. You are not wise.
And you don't respect boundaries.
You don't respect boundaries. So I said something to you in private. You don't post it. Joseph, thank you so much for this advice. They even posted the advice, and you posted it for the whole world to see the advice. You're coming back to this person and you're wondering why they're not paying attention to you. So those kind of persons, like the snail, they withdraw. They wanted to connect with you themselves genuinely, but they don't trust you. They don't know. They're careful of what they say, because this is social media. They don't know what they'll say, and tomorrow.
And then you screenshot and put it out there.
So they're very careful. And some people are never wise. They'll put both their picture, both their name.
Even the number, everything is showing.
And even though you try to crop it out, because we know people, we know who can say something like that. So they know how Joseph can sound. They know how Victoria can sound. So whether you take out the name or picture or whatever, they know. This is Joseph.
This person has to be. Yeah.
So a lot of the mentors we want to connect with, they're very careful. because young people have not learned to be wise, to understand the value of relationship. Because at the end of the day, they're not responding to anybody. They responded to you, but you're taking that for granted, and they may never give you a second chance. So it's just honor.
I mean, I like how this conversation has, evolved about how to collaborate with also maintaining, because it's one thing to connect to these people. It's one thing to build the relationship, but how do you even maintain the relationship? And that's where wisdom comes in. Understanding boundaries, knowing what to do per time and knowing what not to do.
And let me add one, knowing what can blow them up. Now, for instance, you go to a meeting, you're a photographer, you're a videographer, and you notice that this guy is speaking. This lady is speaking. There is a video you make, because at the end of the day, the event organizers, they may not get it right. So imagine you had good pictures, good videos, and you request for their image.
Oh wow!
You send it to them, and they're like,
I never thought of this thing happened, and this was in 2018 or so. Like, I went for an event in Lagos. I was even still an undergraduate. No, I think 2017. I was an undergraduate and I just went for an event. And one of the speakers there, I already connected with her before then, right? But she didn't know me, she wasn't following me. But after the session where she spoke, you know me now, sometimes I can write. I decided to give like a powerful summary of what she spoke about. I posted it on Instagram and I tagged her.
You can never be forgotten.
See, the comments she made on said this note, so did I really say this? This is more expensive than the note I prepared. But she reshared it and she followed me. And that's how till now, I just got into that space just by that singular action.
I connected with somebody because of I understand this media area. So imagine I went for an event and this person was speaking, I was making reels. Now these are things that then they can never have time for. So as they're coming in, the entrance, they're seated and all those stuff, they're stunts, like all the paparazzi and everything, I was just doing the reels. So while the event was over, just send it to their inbox. Even though they don't respond to any message, when they see that this is well edited,
excellence again. You see, if had written just a shabby post, she probably wouldn't have even taken note of it.
And you'll be surprised that you are not the only person.
She must
have seen like 5, but who is this person that paid attention to details?
And was so detailed.
So detailed, like the level of work she put into this.
We can't talk enough about excellence. A lot of young people just do things for the sake of doing it, and we just tick it off. Yes, let's just tick it off our to-do list so that they're talking about strategies now. Give, do things to people. Let's just do it. Let it be like we've done it.
And the sad reality, Victoria, sometimes you do stuff, you follow this principle, you give, and they never remember you. As I said, it has to be genuine. Somebody else will always give and you shall receive.
But the Bible did not say you will receive from the person, or you would, I think my husband used to say this, and even before it, I'm just making reference because the last person that I heard it from was like, when you sow a seed, it's not under compulsion that you will receive the fruits from where you sow. You will get the result. The Bible, this is the principle of life. Whatever you sow, you will reap. But it's not compulsory that you will reap from where you sow. So, just keep an open heart. Do the good that you need to do genuinely, and you definitely get the result from it in some other place. And
the truth is, when you do this, when you exhibit kindness, there are people that will naturally be attracted to. These people, they talk to themselves. They could just easily say, this guy has always been doing it. So at some point, there is somebody that will eventually connect with you because of what they've heard about you.
Yeah.
Because there's some people up there that it doesn't matter what you do on earth, they will never be interested in
you. And that's fine.
So
that's fine.
You're
not called to everybody, and not everybody is called to
your job is to be kind, because the time will come that you now the same kindness to another person that has been praying for somebody to mentor. That will not become your. But you don't need to do anything. They will carry you on their head.
And it's the seeds that you've been sowing that give you that result. Not
so you wonder why I just met this person. All of a sudden, everything is just moving so fast. It's because you've been sowing for a long time, and now God has decided to reward you.
So I remember that some time in the video where we're talking, you mentioned something about there being jobs. A lot of young persons say oh, there are no jobs and all of that. But the real, in most cases, is that many young persons are not even employable.
Yeah.
So in a highly competitive market, especially now that we have remote work, tech and all of those things, how can young persons position themselves to stand out and be employable in this competitive job market?
Okay, I love what you said, and I would love to use the word you used, competitive. I think when we discover that the jobs are now competitive, it means there are some competitive skills we now need to learn. Because if you learn low paying skills, low paying stuff like that, you get low paying jobs. Yeah. So if you learn average, you have access to average opportunities. But if you are going for competitive skills, at the end of the day you have the competitive job, because there are just few persons that are willing to pay the price to access and be ready for such level of opportunities. Yeah. So I think that one of the things that young people want to pay the price to do is to learn those high paying skills, and those things we call competitive is what will it cost, because right now YouTube, the internet, it's very easy for anybody to learn those skills. So if we think that just few persons can access it, tell yourself, I want to be part of those few persons. Yeah, so a lot of people think that this thing is very expensive. It's not really expensive. Sometimes it requires you to understand what information do you need access to that can provide you this level of opportunities. For instance, if you know that, okay, a skill you wanted to learn would cost it maybe $2,000, $10,000. The question now is, what platforms can provide it for less? Right? Your current level, what skills can you learn that you can now say, okay, the next level I want to have access to, this skill can take me there. For instance, I have like 5,000 naira, right? What skill can I learn with 5,000 naira that can take me and help me to be able to earn 20,000 naira? I save up. What level of 50,000 naira can help me get to the next level? But sometimes, greed, we try to just, okay, I don't have 1,000 naira, and we just try to give up, and we complain that there are no jobs. No, it is that whatever level you are, there are opportunities for that level that can take you to the next level. And it requires a lot of humility to tell yourself, I'm not there yet, right? But where I am, I can grow into it, I can learn. And I was mentioning that there's some platforms that have like grants, they have grants and stuff like that. So you could just basically learn how to write and apply for some of these grants, because there are platforms that there's a particular, when I was doing one international leadership program, the money was just too much. So I said, what do I need to do? And I spoke to some of my friends.
What do you need to do? I think that that's where a lot of young people get it.
We roll
it's too expensive, and then they just give
up. Click on the thing. It's what is $3,500. You just, okay, it's not for me. Let me look for a free one. No, I went to my friends and I asked them, there's something I want to apply for this one. They said, somebody just mentioned carelessly. You can apply for this. You can apply for it and they'll give you now. I said, are you joking?
Information.
I applied for it. They said it would take 21 days. I didn't have 21 days. I needed that certificate sharp. I needed it like on time. I reached out to another person and said, they said you can do it and in 7 days. So immediately I applied. And because they told me this is how you need to sound. You need to sound like you need help. Right? Because of us, we apply like we have made it in life.
Yeah.
So you have to apply to somebody that is begging for an opportunity. I applied. This Joseph applied, and they gave me, and I studied for the course for a couple of weeks, and I got the certification, and I was able to now have access to the level of opportunities I was looking for. So sometimes people say Joseph is consulting for an NGO. I'm not consulting because I'm just a media expert or brand expert. There are some certifications I have that will give me the edge, that positions me for that kind of opportunity, and they see me as somebody that can actually deliver. So I was able to save up that money that I did not have. So at the end of the day, I've made more money because I did not have. So learning how to apply, learning to get the right information, some of those things help. So I learned from Johnny BD, poverty is the lack of the information you don't have. So if there is something you don't have, you're just poor in that area. So it's good for us to always know that, okay, in this area I am poor. I need access to some top level opportunities. I am poor in the information that will take me there. Who do I need access to? And how can I be humble to know, okay, Google, YouTube, all these platforms, how can I learn? And it helps. So people are saying that tech will take away our jobs, AI will take away our jobs, but there's some other people that are actually learning what machines will this AI will now be made of working with. So they now start learning those machines. So while you are saying that AI will take away your job, I'm a photographer, will AI take away my job? There are people learning how to power the software, power the code and whatever. So this back end stuff, what exactly do you need to do now? So instead of complaining, your posture as a wise man should be, what do I need to do now so that I can now reposition myself? So if AI is going to take away your job, how can you reposition? So that whatever, it takes away that job to a place. It takes away a job from you. It's giving it to another person.
A more skilled person.
So it means that if I'm a photographer and AI will take away my photography skill or job or business, it's going to give it to another group of persons. So it's not me repositioning from just being a photographer to say, okay, where is that job going to? You go and position it. So at the end, it's still coming back to you. But people are not wise. They just cry. But this is like ChatGPT is taking away jobs to people.
Yeah, people who know how to use it.
People who know how to, because at the end of the day, not everybody can use it. It's not just to go and type. There are prompts. There are things you need to do that there are people that they've learned it, they've mastered it, and they are now. So we say, I'm a copywriter, but AI is taking away my job. No.
I think technology is our friend. Like you said earlier, it gives us ease. So it's not necessarily taking away. It's taking away basic jobs and it's still repositioning to give it to certain kind of people.
For me, I think it takes away the time we would have invested to do more and making it helping us to do it in less time. So it's more like what I would have done before in an hour. Copyright, you need to use your brain and
sit down, think.
But right now, so now it's more like the result. I would have gotten a result from ChatGPT in 2 seconds. How do I learn the prompts that can give me that result? So that after that 2 seconds, the result, the kind of script I'm getting is the best available that you can't see anywhere. So it's more like learning the skills of prompting. How do you type? What kind of language do you need to use? What kind of tools? What do you need to integrate to give the kind of result you're looking for? But a lot of people don't get to understand that this is an advantage. So they just say, okay, I'm losing out. Okay, and you just get to relax. So it's more like an opportunity to learn and become more. So I think that while we're saying that people are not employable or people don't have access to this level of jobs, it's just a call for us to say there are things to learn, there are things to plug into so we can access more opportunities and at the highest level. So
I think I like what you said again about the low-hanging fruit, where you said there is opportunity at every level, right? So if you know that, oh, this is what I want to achieve, but for some reason I cannot get it because it's too expensive or it's outside your reach, I can start with this and then save up to get to the next one. And that also applies to your goals. There are certain goals that are so massive, they are so big, it looks so big, and then instead of killing yourself over it and just sitting back to say, oh no, I can't do it, and then whining, why not do something that is a bit lesser but it's still good, and then you build up to getting the higher point.
This example just came to my head right now. For instance, as a graphic designer, the way I started, there's some opportunities you can't immediately be able to pay for, but there are people you work for, you volunteer for, and because they need you to be able to serve them with that level of expertise, excellence, they will want to send you for a training you can't afford. So at the end of the day, the money you don't have, you have a relationship that can fund it, right? So who can you volunteer for that can fund that level of opportunity? But a lot of people don't get to understand that. They just feel that everything is going to be earned, everything is going to be paid for. Relationship is a currency, money is a currency. Same with relationships, same with mentorship. So my question now is, okay, I can't afford this. What relationship can help me fund it?
Some way.
So are you willing as a young person to be humble? It requires humility, but people don't pay attention to being humble. They just try to rush stuff, and you are serving a mentor now, and you just think that in the next 2 years I should be able to get all out. It can take 5 years, it can take. You can't predict how long it will take. But what I can assure you is, if you can be humble, your humility can unlock a door that it doesn't matter your skill may never give you access to that.
Amazing.
So it doesn't matter who you're working for, it doesn't matter the skill that you currently have. The big question is, what relationship do you have access to? So mistake people make is they try to serve so many people at the same time. So I'm doing stuff for Victoria, I'm doing stuff for Joseph, I'm doing stuff for this person, I'm doing stuff for that person.
And then
at the end of the day, you can't give your best. You are burnt out. You're burnt out.
Then give everybody mediocre skills, and then they can't even recommend you for a higher level.
They talk to themselves. Victoria will say, Joseph, there's this new person I met, and they say,
she volunteered for this, volunteered for this person, volunteered for
what's the
this
person's name? She said, that's that person. So at the end of the day, everybody's giving that person space. And the person
you're giving only 10% to 10 people instead of giving your 100% to one person.
So what I try to do is I try to focus. What I call focus, follow one course until successful. Follow one person until.
Follow one person until.
So who you want to learn from, follow that one person. Follow that. The person is very arrogant. Follow the person. The person is stressing you. Follow the person. One of the things that happened to me was, as a result of service, I was being stretched. So the more you are being stretched, the more capacity you are able to build to be able to handle other things and stuff like that. There are some skills that you will not even know that exist until you are asked to do this, and they will not tell you, okay, this is what you can do, learn this, learn that, and you have access to better opportunities. So I think that the kind of opportunities we are looking forward to accessing is only available when we are able to serve other people. It doesn't matter what skill you have. There's a place that service can help you unlock. So I think that we need to also pay attention to who we are serving, who we are learning from, and the people we are currently volunteering for. So you don't need to be burnt out before you learn. A lot of people, you join this group, you join that group, and at the end of the day, because you can't serve, they delete you, or you delete yourself from groups that would have changed your life. And because young people don't know how to maintain relationship, they end up burning bridges that they can never bring back. Right? So I think that one of the things we need to learn is how to be focused and how to pay attention to the one person that can help us unlock our next level.
Amazing. Okay, so I know that we're having a conversation off camera of honor, service, and mentorship. How can we tie all of these things together, especially as young people? People jump in, mentor me, and all of that. Where is the place of mentorship in growth, and then where's the place of honor and service in mentorship?
This is a big one.
Yeah.
I'll just share from my own personal experiences.
Yes.
One of the things that has brought me to the level I am right now is mentorship, is honor, and all those things in between. So what I always tell young people is before you try to connect with somebody, number one, make sure that you care about the person enough to want to connect with them. Right? Make sure that you are willing and ready to serve. Make sure that you understand honor. Now, this is where a lot of people miss it. So we try to connect with people that we don't even respect, we don't honor, we just want what they have. So we're not willing and ready to pay the price. So one of the things I try to do is before I try to connect with somebody, I try to understand what are their values. What do they like? What do they not like? So you're not going to start pissing somebody off. Somebody is trying to help you, want to piss them off, right? So you try to learn what they want. And some people, they always say, I don't have money. But this person is very, there are little things you can do that can buy you their attention. Like I always tell people, the easiest time in history to show that you value somebody, and people miss this opportunity, on their birthdays, anniversaries. Reach out to their PA, please, I would love to send a gift to this person. And which PA will not want to do that? They'll happily give you and stuff like that. So
a lot of times people think, because I hear a lot of young persons actually say this, and we were talking about mentorship, but I don't have anything to give, I don't have anything. I always say this, that God does not leave any man empty. There is absolutely something for you at that point in time that you can give, even if it's your skill, even if you don't have your time, there's absolutely something that you can actually give. And I believe that
the little things we can give, I believe so much in helping people to blow up, supporting people. So if you've noticed a mentor or somebody you admire and you want to get connected, one of the easiest ways is push what they are doing, push their cause. They're having a webinar, they are doing sponsor ad. What can you do to support, to push it to the next level? Even though it's on your story, even though it's on your feed, even though it's on your WhatsApp, even though it's on your Facebook. Some of us, we have communities that they don't even have. Some of your mentors that don't even have. Your community followership It's even more than their own. But you're still claiming you don't have time, you don't have skill, you don't have money, you don't have. It is that their program. Can you also post on your community?
Yeah.
And also drive traction to what they are doing? But a lot of people don't get to do that. And for the few that understand that, they're the ones that always get their attention. You know, so birthdays, anniversaries, it could be something as simple as a flyer. You don't need to. Some people they just go and piece it up because I can have your picture. You surprise them.
Exactly.
Go to their page. There are so many pictures there. Screenshot it, save it, and go pay somebody whatever amount, good amount, or just Canva. You think you're not so good.
But do it and do it well.
Do it well.
Don't give them
Happy
basic.
birthday, sir. You have inspired me. You put your name if you want to. At least so that in case it's too far and people want to also repost. Imagine they see this flyer, this poster everywhere. And your name is there. Okay, Joseph did this for me. And they are now interested in
Who is this Joseph?
For some of us, we still miss it. We don't put our names. Still, happy birthday, sir. Make it. And you have to be careful. Don't go and make your name bigger or
so you are now the spotlight. You're taking away the spotlight.
It has to be about them. It's their birthday.
It's about them.
Make it about them. If possible, our own level of humility would require us to remove our own name. But what we do is you send it to them. So anybody that reposts, they know that it's from you. It's going viral, but this was the person that did it. So make it 100% about them. You must not. In fact, I advise remove your name. It's not your birthday. You must not want. We must not look for every opportunity to steal credit. Yeah. So remove your name and just. They remember you or not, you know.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I know that we've talked about reward.
Yeah.
You know, just do good. You know, genuinely connect with people. Whether you get your reward from them at that point in time or not is inconsequential.
As far as you give. You may not read from that particular place you sold, but at the end of the day, there's somebody that would be interested in you enough to want to stay with you. You know, so sometimes the little seed. The things we do will always make room for us. So I always advise young people, serve, give, you know, support, push their cause. Everybody's trying to blow. I want to blow.
Of course,
she wants to.
I do.
There's a next level for everybody. So everybody's always looking for.
So even the big mentors you're looking, they're also looking for more.
As much as I'm trying to look for funding for what I'm doing, the people you are looking forward to connecting with that at that level, there's somebody that makes it. There's somebody that wants to connect with. So even the richest man in the world, right? There is somebody up there that trying to connect with. So at the end of the day, we're just humans trying to connect with ourselves, but don't piss anybody off. Ask yourself, how can I help? So the little help you can provide, anybody that you offer that help to will be willing to connect with you. It doesn't matter how little. Yeah, so we need to pay attention to supporting people genuinely without trying to support to receive. A lot of people are giving, I'm giving you this so you can give me back. What I give you back is like you have anything to give me.
There has to be an exchange.
Since this person, okay, I want to connect with Joseph, but Joseph doesn't have the capacity to give me what I want, so they
now step back.
But at the end of the day, when it's called that Joseph has access to a relationship you want to now come back, you've missed it. Connect with these people when they've not made it in life, so that when they finally make it, there are always names they want to mention, and you'll be glad that they can also mention your name.
So thank you so much, Joseph, for such an interesting conversation. I know that you have a lot to share, but because of time, we might need to wrap up here.
Yeah.
But before we, close up for today, close the curtains, I would like to know, you have such a wonderful story, and your growth is really amazing. You've done a whole lot. But looking back, or even now, are there challenges that you face? And even as a young person, I know that young people face some pressures, especially when you see other young persons doing amazing things, and this is possibly what you want to do in any field. Pressures, doubt, fears. How do you deal with it? How do you navigate all of these issues as a young person?
Amazing question. Well, for me, one of the challenges I experienced when I was starting out and doing all this YPC stuff was funding. Funding has always been the issue. I thought it was peculiar to me, but when I started having conversation with people, I got to learn that funding is something that even those at the top is the normal problem, normal challenge. So I had to now come to a point where I had to accept it and now learn how to raise funds. So for me, it was a learning curve for me to know, okay, this was a challenge, but there was an opportunity for me to learn how to do it better, people to talk to, organizations to reach out to platforms to write to and stuff like that. And I think I was able to meander my way throughout that process, but it's something that we still try to look out for better opportunities and how to do what we can do with the support we can get. Yeah, so I think one of the challenges we've had has been the people to work with, platforms, how to get funding, and where we are growing and where we have access to some of these platforms and the opportunities to receive funds, we still try to see how we can provide more value to people, because the more value you provide, the more people will reach out to you and are now the ones willing to support. So, and again, one of the things I try to do to overcome that kind of pressure and challenge is trying to give solution to real problems. You know, a lot of people, young people are stuck, they're frustrated, and they're looking for ways to actually, keep their head above the water. So we try to just see how we can support them and help them.
Solutions.
And whenever we try to do that, we discover that there are other people that we're looking at for people that wanted to solve that same problem.
Just for them to sponsor.
Exactly, so they're willing to sponsor, they're willing to collaborate. And at the end of the day, by just starting, by just taking the action, you now discover that, okay, there are other people that needed other forces to come together and stuff like that. Then again, your question about pressure, one of the things I learned to do, I try to do, is to focus. I try not to care about what the other person is doing, because for me, I believe so much in my assignment, in my purpose. So I wasn't called to do what Victoria is doing. I wasn't called to do what this other person is doing. So I try to be focused. And one of the things I've learned is follow one course until successful. So I try to
follow one course until successful.
I think it was Tony Robbins that said that. So I'm credit to him. So one of the things I've learned is to focus. So I try not to pay attention to whatever. It doesn't matter the amazing things you're doing. I admire it and I applaud you, but I stay on my own path. Yeah.
Amazing.
So I try to be so focused. So a lot of people always ask, Joseph, you're not trying to do what I just focus. And for me, when I want to do something, I just do it. Doesn't matter whether I'll fail or not. I just try to do it. Doesn't matter how little. So if I want to achieve something at this level, I try to ask myself, what step at this level can I take and just do the little that I can. And at the end of the day, the little things we try to do become so big. Like Connect Conference was something we were trying to do for just 100 persons, and at the end,
over to 1,000
people. So the little things we think are little, they're little to us. But if we can take the step, it's for that the ripple effect, it will become so big. So my advice to young people and those that will be watching is kill your fears and just try to take the step and learn a skill, but then find a job, get a job. People don't want to get a job, they just want to, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Yeah, and
starting an NGO
is not for everybody. So you just have to ask yourself, how can I gain stability at where?
First.
Gain stability, get a job, get what will pay you money. Yeah, and if you're learning a skill, don't just learn a skill for learning a skill's sake. Ask yourself, what is the highest opportunity that this skill can provide, and try to go for that level of skill and be willing.
Mastery.
Yeah, be willing to learn and master. A lot of people just learn, they don't get to master. So if you can learn, master, and get a job.
Thank you so much for being our first guest here. Woo! And I just want to use this opportunity to also invite the viewers out there to attend YPC. So now for this year's conference at the YPC, what is the focus on and what should people expect?
Okay, our focus during this year's conference,
and the theme as well.
The theme is hacking the creator economy.
Wow!
Hacking the creator economy, and we're focused more on change makers, on techies, on creators, on entrepreneurs, and young professionals, anybody that's professional, whatever you do. And again, we're focusing more on helping people to access global opportunities. So people have been like this jackpot syndrome, a lot of people get to jackpot and they stay there and die because they don't learn the skill that can give them the opportunity they were going for. Yeah, so
right here.
Yeah, so we're trying to help you to understand before you jackpot, there are skills you need to learn. Yeah, and for those that already had the skills, there are opportunities you can plug into.
People right here in Nigeria.
Yeah, so whether you want to be in Nigeria or outside, there are global opportunities. There's a term now called remote job, right? So you don't need to go there first. You can start working with global NGOs, global organizations from where you
I mean,
are.
who doesn't want to go global?
So that's one of the things we are focusing on, helping. We have one of our partners, Remote Start, and one of the things they're doing for us is access to these remote jobs. Yeah? So we're really focusing on global opportunity, helping creators to earn more, to build more, and to be seen.
Okay, great. So we're just going to plug the link somewhere, so that people can, if you are in Abuja, I mean, this is a conference. What date?
Oh, 22nd of July. It's on a Saturday, so there's no excuse for anything.
There's no excuse. I mean, except people don't want to make, except they don't want to make money, right?
So it's on a Saturday, and we are bringing some of the most incredible, amazing, interesting speakers. These are not people that are, people that are motivational speakers. We're not bringing those type of guys. We're bringing people that they have.
It's not like motivational speakers are bad.
They're not bad.
Right?
Because I believe that whatever you can say to take me to my next level, please
it's
say,
okay, please.
But that terminology, why I use that, because people have abused it. So whenever they hear that people are coming to speak,
they think it's just to come and ginger you and that's
all. But sometimes what can change somebody's life is just you just knowing that what you're going through now is not just you. You went through it, and these were the challenges you had. And for me, I could be thinking that my challenges are peculiar to me.
You.
But when you get to share your own story, your own journey, I'm now inspired to know
and how you navigated that season.
Exactly. So when I know that okay, Victoria had that same issue, she had funding issue, she had mentorship issue, and she was able to go through that maybe through reading books and stuff like that. I want to listen to you.
Yeah.
So we're bringing these guys that we call successful because they've been able to move to a level where they've been able to attract reward.
They have results.
They've been able to attract the reward for what they've done over the years. Yeah, so somebody like Salem King is coming.
Amazing.
And I think I knew Salem King when he had like 1,900 followers.
Now he has over
80,000? What's it, 100? I think 110.
I mean, his work is really incredible.
Yeah, because he's doing the actual work.
What?
Yeah, Jonabidi is going to be there.
I mean, Temilade
Salam is going to be there.
That's a vision board. She is a vision board.
So if she's a traveler,
yeah.
check her now. Tomorrow she's in London, tomorrow she's in the US.
And she's not just, going to places just for the sake of going. Real impact, real work, and real results.
It's different when you invite those guys to come. And it's different when they invite you. So it means that you have something tangible. Yeah. So we're bringing some of these guys, they're leaders in their industry. So we're bringing them, and it's just simple. Connect. Like you're not really doing anything to connect. You're just connecting.
The link, I'm going to put it somewhere in this video. Please click. Register and attend. If you are in Abuja, attend. Thank you so much, Joseph, for being here with us. This is the Voices of Resilience, and we have one resilient man here with us who has lent his voice to this conversation. My name is Victoria Ndu, and
Joseph Etim.
Please do not forget, like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. See you again until the next video. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching Voices with Victoria. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe and share. Cheers!